then see if you can even breathe for longer. So breathing in, maybe you're breathing currently for a count of 4. Can you extend that breath to a count of 6? And ensuring that your out breath is the same length as your in breath. So this helps us to center ourselves, coming away from our morning rituals, our morning activities, just to refine ourselves on the mat. One more. Slow, steady breath. And then I want you to introduce your Ujjayi breath. So narrowing the glottis, narrowing the back of the throat. Same sensation you get when you try to swallow, but narrowing of the back of the throat. And then maintaining that hold and breathing in and out through your nose, creating that audible sound, similar sound to a baby sleeping, or the sound of the ocean waves. And if you haven't already, start to walk your fingers out to the front of your mat, lifting your elbows away from the floor, pressing the palms, the fingers, the thumb into the mat. And I want you to take a deep breath in, and on the out breath, lift your gaze and walk your hands over to the right. Walk your hands over to the right. Still with shoulder distance apart. And then once you've gone to the right, without lifting your left hip, lower your forehead back to the mat. Forehead back to the mat. Try to keep your arms shoulder distance apart. Now, it's okay to stay here. If you want to work a wee bit deeper and you have the availability in the side body, place the left palm on top of the back of the right hand. One palm on top of the other. Breathe into the side body. And then to open the left side body even more, just tilt your right shoulder up towards the ceiling. Just tilt the right shoulder up to the ceiling. So you're adding now a little twist. Breathe into the left side body. One more deep breath in. Inhale. And on the exhale, square the shoulders, lift your gaze and walk your hands through center. All the way over now to the left. Start with shoulder distance apart, lower the forehead onto the mat just so that you can feel into the right side body. Noticing how you feel. Breathing into the ribs. Keeping the right hip back and down towards the heels. And then if it feels good for you in your body, then lift your right palm and place it on top of the left hand. So deeper stretch, so now breathe into the right side body. And then to open up the right side even more, tilt the left. Shoulder up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. And on the exhale, square your shoulders, lift your gaze, walk your hands through center. And then slowly start to bring your hands in towards you and rocking your hips up. Bring your knees just hip distance apart and then lower your forearms onto the mat. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders and your wrists are in line with your elbows. From here we're going to do the series cat-cow. So to begin with, and there won't be as much movement as if you were in tabletop. We want to bring the sit bones, the tailbone up to the ceiling along with your gaze. Pressing the forearms into the mat, spreading the collarbones. And then on the exhale, I want you to bring your tailbone to meet your nose. Bringing your heart all the way up towards the ceiling. Inhale, opposite direction, heart to the floor. Tailbone up, head up. Breathing out round. 2 more each way. Breathing in, working through your spine. Opening up the shoulders. Good, opening up the spine. One more. And then come to a neutral spine. I want you to bring your right hips over to the right. And then look back at your right hip. And then wiggle your tush over to the left. And look back at the left side body. And then back to center. And then sit back onto your heels. Walk your hands towards you. Pull your shoulders, big circles of the shoulders, wiggling up the joints. And then extend your arms, spread your hands. So now we're going to warm up the fingers and the hands. Spread and clench, and then flip flop. Click, click. And then circle one way, and then the other way. Bring your two fists together so the knuckles are, like a jigsaw, connecting together. And then bring the backs of your hands to the mat. Backs of your hands to the mat with the two fists together. Now push the floor away, straighten out those elbows. So now you're getting a big stretch of the back of the wrists. It's an area that we don't often stretch, so sometimes you could be here, that's fine, but just try to work the arms as best you can. This is somewhat icky feet. And breathe. One more. Now lower the chest towards the mat and then release the hands, shake it out. And just one more for the hands. Rotate your palms so that your fingers are going in towards you. And then lean into them and just rock back and forth. Just nice and gentle. So now you're stretching the backs of the forearms. Super important to have strong forearms, wrists and hands in yoga. So it's also important to stretch the mat. One more. And then sit back on your heels, reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. Now take your ribs in, we worked on this last week, so don't allow the ribs to flare out. Keep the ribs nice and in, so that it's protecting your organs. And then I want you to drop your left arm to the floor. Bring your sit bones over to the right, and you're going to stretch over to your left. That's it. So we're working into the side body, creating space in our ribs. Breathe it in. And on the out breath, come back to center. Right hand to the floor, left hand to the ceiling. Take your sit bones over to the left, and then stretch over to the right. And then back to center. Now we're coming onto our hands and knees. Wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, cat cow. So we did a little bit of this in the shorter version. Dropping the belly button down, head up, tailbone up, and then round. So now we're using our hands rather than our forearm. So spread and distribute the weight evenly into your hands, not just the heel of the hand. And make sure the movement is created from the pelvis, working into the spine. And try not to rock the pelvis forward and back. And by that I mean like this. Stay with your breath, in as you dip and out as you round. One more. Good. And from here, you're going to step up with your right foot. Just at an angle, and it's at a 90 degree. So you're not bringing it back in line with your hips, you're bringing it forward at a kind of right angle. And imagine you have a Rubik's Cube underneath your knee. So you want it going over to the right at a 90 degree angle. Okay, we're going to just rock forward and back, working into the hips. Breathing. One more, forward and back. Coming back to neutral. Then slowly roll the body up, bring your hands behind your head. You're going to take your right elbow down to touch your right knee. Tuck in your tailbone, draw the navel in, and bring it back. Four more. Four. Nice and slow. Press the right big toe into the mat. 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back to center. Lower the hands to the mat. Wrists underneath the shoulders. Now extend the right leg out to the right. Now that is in line with your hip. The right foot will be on the floor. You might need to just alternate so you're not kicking your neighbour. And then again we're just going to rock forward and back. Now with the leg extended. So from here we're going to open up the right arm to the ceiling. And we're going to take that right arm and thread it underneath the left, lowering the right shoulder, right side of your face to the mat. And breathe. You can use use your left hand to push into the floor to help rotate that left shoulder up in the direction of the sky. You might not go that far, but that's okay. One more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, push into the floor with the left hand and bring the right hand underneath the shoulder. Lift that right leg away from the floor and pulse for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep it lifted and rotate it all the way behind. Take it all the way over to your left. And then look back at your heel. The ball of the foot is on the floor. Good. Breathe in. And on the exhale, place it back underneath. Step up with the left. And rock forward and back. Forward and back. You're out at an angle. Work it into the hips. And breathe. One more. Make sure that it's at a right angle. And then bring the torso up. Right hand behind the head. Lower the left elbow. For 5. Tailbone in, belly in. 4. Ribs in. 3, 2, and 1. Place the hands back down. Straighten the leg in line with the hips. So Shirley, you can turn around on your mat like this. And then forward and back. Rock forward and back. So if you find that you're too close to your neighbour or to the window, just turn to the side. Forward and back. And then come to neutral. Lift the left arm all the way to the ceiling, looking up at your thumb, and thread it through the right. Lowering the left shoulder to the mat, left side of your face. Now, if you find that you can't reach the floor with the left leg out to the left, you can bring the left knee in and thread, lowering with both knees on the mat, as an option. That's it, good. Slow breath. And then push into the floor with your right hand, bringing the left hand back underneath the left shoulder. Lift the left leg up and pulse. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Circle it all the way around behind, all the way over to the right, and look back at your feet. Squeeze onto the floor. The ball of the foot rests. Breathe in. And on the out breath, place the knee back down. Slide the hands either side of your knees, point your toes away, and then lift your knees away from the floor. Squeeze them in together. Breathe in. Breathe out lower. One more time. So bring the knees together, the feet together. It makes it a wee bit easier. Draw the navel in and you're concave in the front body. So the heart goes up towards the spine. You push the floor away with your hands and bring the knees all the way to the chest. Breathe in deeply, and on the out breath, lower. Come onto your knees, step up with your right, and here is where you may or may not use your blocks, totally optional. So when your blocks are like this is called the high side. Then you've got the middle side and your low side. Now this is to help that you are in a low lunge position and that your right knee is above your right ankle. If you find that you can reach the floor without compensating that knee over the ankle, then you don't need to use the blocks. Keeping your hips square, low lunge. So now we're opening up into the left quad, the left hip flexor. And then from here, tuck the toes of the back foot under. Lift the knee away from the floor. Keep your hips square. Use your right big toe, your right heel, press it into the mat. Now you're firing up the glute on the right cheek. And then rotate the right shoulder up. Right arm, but don't rotate the right hip. Keep the right hip square. Beautiful. Now you can use your blocks. Your hand could be on the block. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, right hand to the floor or to the block. Lower the left knee to the mat. Point your left toes, and we're going to lift that knee up again. So now we're stretching the front of the foot, front of the foot. That's it. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, lower the knee to the mat. Take your blocks with you onto the high side. Walk them back as you bring your hips back, keeping that right heel glued to the mat. Flex your right toes, and then elongate and lengthen your spine. So we're not keeping the spine nice and round. Try to elongate it. The toe flex, Option here, depending on the mobility, flexibility of the back of the leg. Bringing your heart forward, elbows in. Bringing your heart forward. Folding over. This is half split, Hanumanasana. And breathe. Breathe into the back of the leg. Close your eyes, because sometimes just thinking and breathing into that area just helps not grip or hold tension. One more deep inhalation. And on the exhalation, use your blocks and rock your body forward. Bring your hips forward, blocks with you. And then tuck the toes to the back foot under. You may or may not use your blocks. Lift the knee. And then slide that right foot back. Plank. Drop the knees. Lift the torso. Stepping up with the left. Other side. Stake your hips. Hands to the blocks, floor. You decide which height. And maybe start with blocks and then take the blocks away once you feel that the hips are starting to open. Become a little bit more freer. What's important here is alignment. So we want to keep the shoulders square and the hips square. And use the feet. So the big toe is pressed into the mat. You're already engaging the soles of your feet. So when we come to standing, your feet memorizes what it's supposed to do. From here, we're going to start lifting the back knee away from the floor with the toes tucked under. And then rotate. Lift down to the ceiling, looking up at your thumb. Try not to lift that left hip. I know it's tempting, but the rotation is in the torso. Use your left big toe. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, back to the mat, out of blocks. Lower the back knee to the mat. Point your right toes. And then lift your right knee away from the floor. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, lower the right knee, tuck the toes of the back foot under, slide that left foot back. Now we're arriving into our plank, warming up the core. Take the feet wide to the edge of your mat. Shoulders squared, hips are squared. And now we're going to rotate in our plank. So drop both heels over to the left. Lift the heels over to the left. Bring them to the sky. And then over to the right. Bring them to the sky. Now you can repeat that again with the feet wide. Or a wee bit more challenging is when the feet come together. And drop both heels over to the left. Now the right foot stacks on top of the left. Both hands are on the floor of the blocks. Back to the sky. And then over to the right, stacking the feet. Or have them wide. One more breath. Breathe in. Breathe out, back to center. Lower the feet. Sit back on your feet and maintain. Give me square. In child's pose, Balasana. And maybe you want to rock your body from side to side. Whatever feels good. So you may have already caught on and realized that today's theme is twists. So we're going to be twisting the morning away. So this is a little bit different from your normal practice of just poses. When you're involving lots of twists, it means your body is going to feel a lot of warmth, a lot of heat. So I want you to breathe through it and bear with. It can be a little bit disconcerting, a little bit uncomfortable, but know that it is good. It is releasing, steel oxygen, steel blood. So you're getting your organs to be more active, reactive within your body. So you will sweat, but if you feel that it's too tough and you need to take a break, then this is the pose for you. You come into child's pose. Don't allow the ego to make you keep it up when you know you're probably going to collapse. It sounds really ominous, really promising for the class. But I just want to reassure you that by taking child's pose, there is no problem whatsoever. Okay, now I will push you and I will ask you to try and hold the pose. But if your body's telling you no, that's okay. You listen to your body. I don't know what's happening inside your body, only you do. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, rock the body up to tabletop, tuck the toes under, lift the hips, coming into downward dog. This is our first downward dog, so keep your knees bent, and work on elongation of the spine. So this is your first inversion. So now we're putting pressure on the heart. Our blood is going to start running down into your head. So I want you to breathe. Ujjayi, slow it down. Feet hip distance apart, toes in line with heels, a wee bit wider even. That's it. And you come a little bit further forward with your hands. Do you hear it? Yeah. That's it. And you're bringing your front body to your thighs, but without blurring your ribs. So we worked on this a lot last week. I want you to keep the protection of your organs with your ribs, your front ribs in and your belly in. So how you bring the front body to your thighs is actually the openness of your shoulders. The openness of your shoulders. So I want you to rotate your biceps away from one another. Hug your triceps in. Good. And breathe. Keep bringing those sit bones up to the sky. One more breath. Now this feels uncomfortable, but believe me, by the end of the class, you're going to want to be in downward dog. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, lift your gaze, bend your knees deeply. Look to the front of your mat, destination of where you're going to place your feet. Big step off with your right, big step off with your left. Hang over in Uttanasana, forward fold. Good. Bend your left knee. Keep your feet hip distance apart. Bend your left knee. Now this is optional. You can place your hand on the block. Your hand goes in front of your left foot and your right leg is straight. And then I want you to keep your hips square, and again we're going to stack right shoulder on top of your left shoulder and release your right arm to the ceiling. Good. So again, don't be afraid to use these blocks. And if you need to stack 2 blocks, use 2 blocks. Beautiful. Gorgeous. One more. Breathe in. And on the out breath, drop your right hand and place your right hand in front of a block, in front of your right foot. Or without a block is option. Bend your right knee, straighten your left, and then open the left arm to the ceiling, looking up at your thumb. So we call these points our juristes. Palms are facing the left side of the room, palms facing the left side. Good. So this is a dynamic rotation. You want to imagine the top arm is reaching the sky, but the bottom arm and hand is reaching the floor. So you're creating space in the torso. One more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, slowly drop the left hand to the mat, bend both knees. Fold like a rag doll, fold like a rag doll. The weight is on your feet, the weight is on your feet. Creating space in your lower back. Your hands can stay on blocks or the floor, that is optional. One more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, slowly, start to squeeze the tush, squeeze the backs of the legs so that your legs are supporting your body, your torso, the top half of your body rolling up through your spine, one vertebrae stacking at a time, drawing the navel in, arms and head are the very last to come up. Roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, lift your gaze, reach your arms up, touch the ceiling, and then bring your hands touching your third eye with your thumbs, touch your lips, and then touch your heart. Normally at this stage I ask you to think of your own Sankalpa, but I was reading a little bit of the last couple of days, and I want you to use this mantra. Close your eyes. So this may not be for everybody, but I just want you to stay with an open mind. So I want you to repeat to yourself silently, I love my heart. I love my body. I love my mind. One more time to yourself. I love my heart. I love my body. I love my mind. Let your eyelids open. Surya Namaskar. Inhale. If you're too close to your neighbors, just take your arms up straight. Exhale, swan dive, coming forward on the tips of your toes. Forward fold, Uttanasana, bend your knees if you need to. Inhale, half lift, straight spine, straight legs, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, hands to the floor for support, stepping back into with your right leg to the back of your mat. left leg into plank. We're going to do the first round modified, so drop the knees, point the toes. Elbows are hugged into one another, so like two magnets. You're going to fold with the elbows bend into the back of your mat and bring your torso all the way down to the floor. Elbows are still hugging into your body. Roll your shoulders back, squeeze your tush and lift your heart. Cobra. Squeeze the tush as you lower all the way back down. Tuck the toes under. Big push up with the arms. Half press up. Lift your knees, plank. Lift the sit bones, downward dog. Take 5 breaths. Breathe in 2. Notice your hands, spreading your hands. Bring your feet up. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there you go. And if you need to keep the knees bent so that your spine is nice and long, then keep your knees bent. If your legs are straight, we're working the heels towards the mat. 1 more breath. Slow and steady, Ujjayi. Breathe in. And on the exhale, bend your knees deeply. Look to the front of your mat. Spot. Step up. 1, 2 with the feet. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to your heart. Side 2. Inhale. Lift the legs, lift the knees, sorry. Squeeze your thighs. Swan down, fold. Uttanasana. Out of Uttanasana, half lift. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, bend your knees, step back, left, right. Plank. Drop your knees. And then press down. Elbows to the back. Hug them in. That's it, good. Now, bring your heart up towards the sky. Squeeze the tush. Tuck in the tailbone. That's it. Lower back down. Tuck the toes under. Push the floor away. Half press up. And then lift the knees, plank. Lift the hips, downward dog. Now you may need to adjust your feet. Moving from plank to downward dog. Sometimes you need to step up a little bit. Feet hip distance apart, toes align with heels. Breathe. So our drishti in downward dog is the space between your knees. So this is also a reset in your downward dog. Reset your body, reset your mind, reset your breath. Slow it down. 1 more. Breathe in. And on the exhale, bend your knees, lift your gaze. Big step up. 1, 2. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to your heart. Round 2. Inhale. Now lift the knees, squeeze your thighs. Swan down with a straight spine. Coming forward with your heart. Hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift. Still forward on your toes, not way back onto your heels. Bring your hands to the floor. Step back 1, 2. Plank. Now we're going to do the full version here. If it's too much, drop your knees, do the modified that you previously done. From plank, we're bending our elbows towards the back of the room. We're lowering with the shoulders no lower than your elbows. From stick or chaturanga, we move through upward dog. Shoulders back, hard forward. Squeeze the tush, lift the gaze. From upward dog, tuck the toes under. And move into downward dog. But you decide if you're taking the full or the modified. Breathe. Nose breathing, nasal breathing. Slow and steady. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, bend your knees, lift your gaze. Big step up. 1, 2. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Beautiful. Inhale, extended mountain. Exhale to your heart. Last time. Inhale, rise up. Extended mountain. Exhale, fold. Dive forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Step back. 1, 2. Plank. Modified or full. Bend your elbows. Hug them in. Beautiful. Shoulders no lower than your elbows. Upward dog. Coming forward with the heart. Hips are high, thighs are high. Good. And then transition into your downward dog. Whether you move through your planks and breathe. Beautiful, everybody. Don't forget the breath. What can you do in this downward dog that you didn't do in the previous one. Is there little tweaks that you can make internally inside your body? Placement of your toes, your hands, the rotation of your biceps, the ribs, the belly, the hips. One more. Breathe in. And on the out breath, bend the knees, look up. Big step up. 1, 2. Half lift. Straight spine. Straight legs. Forward fold. Good. Inhale, extend the mountain. Exhale to your heart. Bend both knees. Feet hip distance apart. Utkatasana, chair pose. Now, what happens when we lower the sit bones to the mat? We want to stick out the tush. So we want you to tuck it in. Heart is forward, shoulders is back, and then release the arms. Thumbs to the sky, palms facing. Yeah. Now, have a quick peek down and check that your feet are hip distance apart and toes are in line with heels. So important in yoga is always about the alignment, because for most part, we're all off balance. We're all off inside our bodies. So maybe there's a little tweaks of the pelvis, the tailbone, the sacrum. So we are wanting our bodies to retrain the muscles of what it's built, the memory over years and years of being out of alignment. And that takes a lot of work. Can we sit a wee bit lower? I know we can. So gorgeous comfy chair. And then from here, bring your hands to your heart. We're going to take that right shoulder back. We're not going to move the bottom half of our body. We're going to rotate the torso. The left elbow goes to the outside edge, so you're going to have to lower into your chair. Left elbow to the outside edge of your knee. Have a quick peek and check that this left knee hasn't come forward. Keep the knee square. And then place the right hand on top of the left. And you're working that right shoulder to the sky. Left shoulder forward. Draw the navel in. The twist is happening in the ribs, in the side body. Good. Try not to hug the shoulders to the ears. Back and down. Good. Breathe. One more. Breathe in. We're staying in our comfy chair and we're rotating the torso back around to neutral. Then we're going over to the other side. Hips are square. Bring the left shoulder back. Right elbow to the outside edge of the left. So the elbow being on the knee, you use it to help with the rotation, but not with the right knee to come forward. Yeah, try to keep both knees in line. Back to center on the exhale. Now from here, we're going to lower onto our knees. Lower onto our knees. Kneeling. Okay. This is like a little fun sequence that we're going to repeat throughout today's practice. Reach the arms in front, and we're just going to lean back. So use our thighs. Lean back. So this is why you're warming up the front of the feet. And forward. 2 more. Lean back. And forward. 1 more. Breathe in. And on the exhale, take the hands behind the head. Fold forward all the way to the mat. And shoot the arms out to the left. Shoot the arms out to the left. So we're going to take this nice and slow so we get it into our body. A little sequence. Sorry, there's blocks everywhere. Okay, so from here, lift your gaze and move your left hand back so that when you bring your body up, your left wrist is going to be underneath your left shoulder. So you were here, you start to bring the left hand simultaneously as you lift the body up. Then step up with our right angle again and take the right arm to the ceiling, stacking the shoulders, one on top of the other. Now we're going to take the weight onto that left hand that's on the floor and that right foot. And we're going to lift the left leg through and tap your toes. Tap your toes and bring it back. Other side. Lean back. For 3. 2. And 1. Hands behind the head. Fold. Over to the right. Sink. Slide the right hand back underneath your right shoulder. Lift the torso, lift the left leg. Right angle. Or left and go. Left hand up. Reach. Take the weight onto the right hand. Left foot. Bring the right leg through. Tap. Bring it underneath. Bring it back. That's round 1. Tuck the toes under. Downward dog. Downward dog. Good. Then take the weight over to your left foot and release the right leg to the ceiling. Right leg to the ceiling. Now this is optional. Keep the hips square. You can stay with the one-legged downward dog with the right leg up to the sky. To work that little bit more intense, we're going to take that right knee to the right elbow. So you need to bring the body forward into a one-legged plank. Right knee to right elbow. Then bring it back to the ceiling. Once again, right knee to the elbow. Bring it back to the ceiling. Take the right knee all the way to the nose. Squeeze it up. And then step up with the right foot. We're going to move from high lunge to warrior two. So we're going to rotate left shoulder, left hip, left heel, and one quick step. So drop and rotate. That's it. Right knee opens. So everybody rotate their gaze to your right arm. Look down at your right knee, right toes. Make sure the right knees are above the right ankle, right toes aligned with the heel. And then lift your gaze and look at your right middle fingernail. Good, beautiful. Back leg is straight. And to assist the back leg strength, the outside edge of the left foot, press it into the mat. Good, lifting the knees, squeezing the thigh. Now, tuck in the tush, tuck in the tailbone, ribs in, belly in. Relax the shoulders. And can we sink the ship a little bit more? Good. We're just pretending. Now from here, we're going to reach that right arm all the way to the pot of gold beyond the trees. Then we're going to take the right elbow to the thigh. Left hand reaches up and over the head. So this is Parsvakonasana. We look up at the palm. In this pose, you can bring your left shoulder to your ear. So again, it's all about the rotation of the torso. So we want the left ribs to go back and the right ribs underneath to go forward. So you're rotating in opposite direction. Try not to put all the way down to that elbow, to the point where I'm going to ask you to bring your right hand forward towards me. Right hand forward towards me. Beautiful. Just towards me. That's it. One more breath. In Parsvakonasana. Good. Now, bring your elbow back to your waist. And then bring your left hand to your waist, elbow to your thigh. You're going to lift this back heel away from the floor and rotate the torso and the hips back around into our high lunge. Hands into the waist. Good. Now we're going to add a twist. So this can get challenging. Bear with. If you find that your balance is not your friend, you can widen your stance by taking your heel toe of the front foot out a wee bit wider. We're going to bring these shoulders and the ribs, the torso, round to the right. Round to the right. Like we did in our squat, we're going to take the left elbow to the outside edge of the right knee and place the right hand on top of the left palm. When they're together, we rotate the right shoulder back, looking up towards the ceiling or down at our right big toe. So this is where you need the feet now. When we were doing our low lunges, we grind into that big toe. Beautiful. Rotation of the torso. 5. Breathe. I know. Without a doubt, stick with your breath. These are doing it. Now, I'm going to ask even more of you. I know you can. So from here, we're going to drop the back knee to the mat. For 5. Lift it back up. 4. If it's too much, stay static. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the left knee down to the mat. Then rotate the torso so both hands are now framing your right foot. You're going to pivot the left foot round to the left. And as you do the left wrist underneath the left shoulder, take the right foot out to the side. Right arm to the ceiling. Fascisthasana, or modified Fascisthasana. Side plank. Breathe. So hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Tailbone tucked, belly in, ribs in. The right foot is flat on the mat. Right foot is flat on the mat or the floor. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, rotate the right arm, right hand to the mat. Step back with your left leg into plank. And then vinyasa to the downward dog. Chaturanga, or all the way down onto the mat. Chaturanga, elbows bend, in, hug goes in. Upward dog or cobra. And find your way to downward dog. Good, breathe. Breathe. Take the weight over to the right foot. Left leg to the ceiling. Bring your left knee to your left elbow, or keep it in one-legged dog. Bring it back to the sky. Left knee to left elbow, bring it back to the sky. Left knee to the nose, round upper back. So there's lots of space between you and your shin. Your shins are in the floor, and then step up, frame your left foot. We're going into warrior two, so it's the right shoulder, right hip, right heel. Rotate down and round, boom. Now, have a peek down, left knee, left ankle, left toes. Lift your gaze, and then you may need to adjust. Right, your shoulders are above your hips, not one in front of the other. Back leg is straight, front knee is bent, good. Have a quick peek down at the knee and make sure that left knee is not going to go to the right. Keep the left knee open to the left. Beautiful, and breathe, slow and steady. The heat starts to creep up in you, particularly when we're doing twists. And if you sweat, enjoy it. Slow and steady. So these are strengthening poses. So we hold them for at least 5 breaths, so that it's giving our muscles, 1, memory, and 2, building strength. 1 more, breathe in. Sink. Lunge with the torso, left ribs, lunge forward. Elbow to the thigh, nice and light, not for dear life. Then right arm up and over, look up at the palms, rotate. Right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Right ribs back. Don't stick out the tush. Breathe. Breathe in 3. Exhale. Don't collapse the knee. Back leg is still active, still straight. Good. 1 more. Inhale. And extend the left arm towards the right. Good. And then bring your hands to your waist. Rotate the torso around, lifting the back heel away from the floor. Right elbow comes across to the left outside knee. Place your hands one on top of the other, prayer. And then when the hands are on top, gently push and into the knee and rotate the torso. Bring in the left shoulder above the right with the hip square. I like to call this the wringing out pose. Wringing out the organs. So he's had a bank holiday, so there's lots of wine and cocktails and Guinness. Nobody knows how many takeaways and ice cream. So they're all leaving your body right now. Oh yes, you were full on with your smoothies and your green tea. Your organic carrots. 1 more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, right knee to the mat. 5, 4, 3, squeeze the glutes, 2, and 1. And then bring the right hand to the mat. Get lots of dirty looks. Rotate the right foot. Left leg extends. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Left arm to the sky. That's okay, don't break our legs. We still love you. In a sadistic way. Left foot to the mat. Good, breathe. So even now, this is more of a passive pose, so it's not full on strength. Try to help with that rotation. So try to bring the stack the hips, stack the shoulders, yeah? Because this is a modified side plank. If we're going full on, we would have the feet stacked, one on top of the other. 1 more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, rotate to plank. Find your vinyasa, so bend your elbows, chaturanga. Hug them in, hug them in. All the way to the mat. Lift the heart, beautiful Rachel. Lift the heart, cobra or Urdhva Mukha, upward dog. And then find your way to Adho Mukha, downward dog. Beautiful. Take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, drop our knees. Back to our wee sequence. Onto our knees. Today. Arms up. And then sway back. For 3, 2, 1. Hands behind. Forward fold. Shoot them out to the left. Left hand underneath the left shoulder. Step up with the right foot. Right arm to the ceiling. Take the weight onto the hand and to the foot. Boom, left foot forward. Touch your toes, bring it back. Back to your knees. For 3, 2, just a bit of fun. 1, my idea of fun. Forward fold, over to the right. Stretch. Right wrist underneath right shoulder. Step up with your left. Left arm to the ceiling. Take the weight onto the hand and to the foot. Boom. Tap your right hip.
Just lost me.
And then back to your knees. Come forward. Lift the hips. You're going to love it now. Just smile. Stay with it. Remember, pain and discomfort doesn't last forever until you get a dentist appointment in 2025. So, take the weight over to your right foot. Oh, sorry, no, your left foot. I beg your pardon, starting here with a new routine. So the left foot, the right leg goes to the ceiling, and this time you can stay in one-legged dog, or you're going to take your right knee to your left elbow. Take your right knee to your left elbow. Take it back to the ceiling. Good. One more time. To the left elbow, to the ceiling. Right knee to your nose, and then step up to the front of the mat. Beautiful. Breathing space. Now remember, you can use your block. So if you find that you're here, and to bring that leg forward is a lot, you can use your hands on blocks and downward dog. One-legged dog. Bringing it forward, yeah? So now we're going back to our warrior 2. So we're dropping the left heel, rotating the shoulder, back to our warrior 2. Now we're going from warrior 2 straight away into Trikonasana. Sometimes in Trikonasana, if we're using warrior legs, so the width of our legs are much wider. So sometimes I like to do a little fiddly thing, I like to call a fiddle, and step up. Yeah, so you're narrowing your stance. It's just a little bit. You don't have to do it, but sometimes for me Trikonasana can be too wide to then rotate the torso, okay? So I just narrow my stance, and then reach the right shoulder. So same as Parsvakonasana, left shoulder back, left hip back. It's the lunge of the right ribs, right shoulder. Round and down over that right leg, and I don't care about reaching the floor. Lots of yoga teachers teach you by grabbing the toe. I think that hurts us, our bodies, because our hips aren't super open unless you're flat out in Ashtanga 5 nights a week. But for most of us, we aren't. So I would rather be at the shin or even the thigh and have the shoulders stacked, the hips stacked, rather than getting to the floor and look what happens. The top body comes forward, the hips come forward, they're out of sync. Whereas back here, you're stacking. And it's all about the ribs. That's it. Both legs are straight. Both legs are straight. Straight, straight, straight. That's it. And breathe. So again, we're 5 breaths. So maybe that's breath number 6. I can't count. So breathe in, and on the out breath, rotate. Now we're going to add a new tricky dicky one to our portfolio. Sorry. Too busy talking about Trikonasana, forgot to do the blocks. We're going to rotate, so if you have your blocks right handy, this is a tricky dicky one. So, we're here. We're going to pivot on the feet all the way. Now when we're pivoting, we're moving our left toes round to the back of the mat, and we're taking our right arm, right shoulder with us. So now our hips are square to the back of our mat, and our shoulders, okay? So our left toes are pointing to the back of the mat, and both heels are in line with one another. Both heels are in line with one another. So don't be afraid to have a quick peek down. This is revolve Trikonasana. It can be quite challenging. So we went from here to here, okay? Then from here, you're going to dive forward with your heart. Both legs are straight, hips are square. You're going to reach with the right arm. Once you forward fold halfway, bring your right hand to the block, and then push your hand into the block and rotate the shoulders and the torso, not the hips. Keep the hips square. Bring the left shoulder up and release the left arm up. Both legs are straight. Now if you find both legs are straight, you may need to narrow your stance. So I would come up a wee bit closer. That's it. Both legs are straight. And breathe. Beautiful. Both legs are straight. You're rotating the right, that's beautiful, Trish. Rotating the right shoulder up left shoulder forward. Right ribs up, left ribs forward. One more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, we're coming up. So the right arm, this is like helicopter arms. Right arm circles up, and then we're going to move into wide leg stance to the side. To the side. That's it. Take a block with you to the middle between your feet. Hands into your waist, forward fold with a straight spine. Place your hand high, mid or low on top of the block. Left hand, sorry, I meant to say between your 2 feet. And then again, we're twisting. So take the hip square, take the right shoulder up to the ceiling. Don't allow that left hip to come with you. And release the right arm to the ceiling. Right arm to the ceiling. Good. Lovely straight, elongated spines. So no, try not to round. And you're looking up at your thumb. Beautiful, Louise. Gorgeous. Some people, believe it or not, like to be super wide to do this. There's no benefit in the torso with wide legs. So narrow legs is no problem. One more breath, breathe in. And on the out breath, lower the right hand to the block and change sides. Don't allow that right hip to come with you, it's tempting. And then rotate, left shoulder above the right shoulder. Nice elongated flat backs. Evenly distribute the feet, the weight of your feet so you're not too far back on your heels. Come forward a wee bit on your toes, both legs are straight. Beautiful. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, both hands to the block, bend both knees, and then start to walk the feet round. Pivoting on the toes, stepping back into your plank, into your vinyasa. Bend your elbows, lower. You can lower all the way down, move through cobra, upward dog, and then find your way into your downward dog. Good. We're going to move to the other side. Take the weight over to the right foot, left leg to the sky, left leg to the sky. Bring your left knee to your right elbow. Bring it back. Again, you can use blocks. Left knee to the right elbow. Bring it back. Left knee to your nose. Step up. And then boom. Warrior 2. Straighten. Lunge forward. Rotate. Trikonasana. Both legs are straight. Both legs are straight. So, what's happening into the socket of the hips? The left socket is going right back. So that has to straighten that leg. That right hip is rotating to the sky. Looking up at your thumb. You should feel it in your right ribs. Yeah, you can place your hand up here. Okay. Keep breathing. Get around as many people as possible. One more. Now use your top ribs to pull your body all the way back up to standing. You're going to take your left arm this time to rotate all the way around to the back of your mat. Taking your left hip with you, your left shoulder with you. Shoulders above your hips. Right hand on your waist, left hand to the ceiling. Forward fold. Diving forward, leading with your heart. And then rotate left shoulder over to the right. Left hand on the block. And then take your right arm, right shoulder to the sky. Both legs are straight. It is preferable to use the blocks to begin with, just to build that muscle memory, the position memory. Because if you keep bending your legs, your body then becomes aware. Then your message is to the brain, oh, I bent my knees on this pose. So you have to train the brain, train the muscles. One more breath. Breathe in. And on the out breath, now use your core, circle, helicopter, all the way around. So we're in our wide leg stance. This time we're going to rotate the toes out, bend the knees, wide knee squat. Take your hands to your thighs, and we're going to lower the left shoulder, rotating the right shoulder back. That's it. So like a sumo squat. And then back to center, lower the right shoulder. Left shoulder rotates. Back to your wide knee squat. And then pivot back to your vinyasa. Hands to the mat. Stepping back with the front foot into plank. Bend your elbows. Cobra or upward dog. Downward torso, arms out straight. Lean back. And we'll just do it once. Lean back once. Hands behind. Forward fold. Shoot the arms out. Left wrist under left shoulder. Step up with the right. Right onto the ceiling. The other way. So this. Left. Wrist underneath the left shoulder. Right foot up. So now we're taking the weight onto the foot and the left hand to lift the left leg through. Tap, bring it back. Back to kneeling. Lean back. Hands behind. Forward fold. Shoot to the right. The right wrist goes underneath the right shoulder. Pushes the floor away and step up with the left. Left arm to the ceiling and then bring the right leg through. Tap and bring it back. Brilliant. Back to our knees. I've froze my foot. And then back to our hands and knees. Oh, scoot the legs out to one side. We're down onto the floor. We're not finished yet. I think that's the last. Side of your hips. Bring your blocks to the side of your hips. This is called Dandasana, seated practice. So sit up tall, feet flexed, and legs together. So they're still active, yeah? You're still working them. We're going to extend the arms out like we did in kneeling, and we're going to pulse for 3, 2, flat back, 1, hands into your blocks, point your toes, you might need to bring them a wee bit back to your hips, and reverse plank. So lift the hips, don't fling your head back, just keep the crown of the head in line with the tailbone. Lift, 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 squeeze, 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 and lower. One more. Flex the feet, 3, 2, 1, hands into the blocks, lift the pelvis, breathe. In, keep squeezing, tush, squeeze legs, and lower. One more time, flex. For 3, 2, 1, hands and blocks, lift. Look up to the ceiling, turn the corners of your mind up to the eyes. Breathe, and lower. Take the right knee up, flex the left foot, seated twist. Take the right foot over, and then use the pressure on the shins to lengthen the spine. Left hand to the outside edge of the right. Now you can take this right block, place it behind your hip as an option. Everybody's different. So take your right hand on top of the block and rotate that right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Now, if you have a super long torso, super long arms, prong fingers, or flat palms. Now, the bottom leg, the foot is active, flexed. That's it. Good. So you're pulling that knee into your body to allow the twist to deepen. Right shoulder back, left shoulder forward. Inhale as you lengthen your spine, and exhale as you bring that right shoulder back even more on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, rotate. One more. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And on the exhale, rotate back to center. Change sides. Extend the right, take the left. So this is a modified seated twist. I'm not doing the full version today because I'd rather work on the rotation of the torso. Just in case you're saying, I've done mats in Drasana before and that's not what it looks like. This is just a modified version. Hands on the shins, sit up tall, right hand to the outside edge of the left. Your hands can go on the block or on the floor. You're going to bring the thigh towards you, your knee towards you as you rotate. Left shoulder back, right shoulder forward. Sit bones pressed into the mat. Right foot flexed, right leg active. Breathe in, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. Good. And as we're not moving around and balancing, close your eyes. Visualize the rotation of your torso, your spine, and all your lungs and your kidneys and your spleen, and every organ inside your body, what it's doing. One more. Breathe in. Particularly the liver. And on the exhale, rotate back to center. Undo your leg. And then scoot your body forward. You're rolling down, just check you've no blocks, so you're going to knock into. And bring your feet hip distance apart and your heels close to your body as they may go. Sit through bandha or bridge. So begin by bringing your front ribs to your back ribs. So now your back is flat on your mat. Draw the navel in and use your feet. Push the floor away Lifting your sit bones, your hips away from the floor. The back of the neck is long, nose pointed to the ceiling. Close your eyes and lift, engaging your tush, the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, to lengthen the front body. Breathe. Two more breaths. With your in-breath, hold, and with your out-breath, lift. Ankles should be underneath your knees. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, slowly roll from the top of your spine, one vertebrae at a time, lowering onto your mat. And then from your tailbone resting onto the mat, I want you to slide your arms along the floor, shoulder distance, or shoulder height. And if you're close to your neighbour, then maybe scoot your bum up or down. And then drop both knees over to the left. Supine spinal twist. And then rotate your head so your nose is pointed to the right. Close your eyes and I want you to breathe in. And the breath in goes down your spine. That's called prana. And I want you to exhale up your spine, and that's called apana. So breathing in prana down your spine, that's your life force. And then as you exhale up your spine, apana, that's letting go, release, tension, anything that doesn't serve you. So breathing in life force, prana, exhaling, letting go. One more, inhale. And on the exhale, bring the knees back to center. You might need to adjust your hips, square them off. And then drop your knees in the opposite direction that you've just been. So over to the right if you've been to the left and vice versa. And then rotate your head in the opposite direction of your knees. Close your eyes. Breathe into the spine. Your in-breath down. And your out-breath up. One more. Inhale. And on the exhale, bring your knees back to the sky. Adjust your hips. And then extend your legs down to the front of your mat. And slide your arms by your side. Now, if you're someone who likes to feel nice and warm and toasty, because I think you might already do feel that, but if you want that extra bit of heat, wrap yourself up now. This is the relaxation part of the class. So come up safely, grab your jumpers, your blankets. You do tend to cool down quickly in relaxation. So I want you to feel nice and cozy and comfortable. If anybody would like a bolster underneath their knees, just to take the pressure away from the lower back, just raise your arm and I will assist. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Have them underneath your knees. And then lift your knees and place your knees onto the block. Good? Now that you find yourself in Shavasana, in our resting pose, rotate your palms up to the ceiling so that you're open to receive. Roll in the shoulders ever so slightly back so that your heart is lifted. And now bring your awareness to your breath. And with every breath, you are giving yourself permission to relax, release and let go. worked your body quite significantly in the past 60 minutes. So now give your body and your mind permission just to relax. Taking your awareness to the back of your head, resting on your mat, just ask it to relax quietly and silently. The crown of your head, sides of your head, forehead. Relax your frown lines, your eyebrows, the eyebrow center, eyelids and eyes, nose, nostrils, cheeks, ears, upper lip, lower lip. Unclench your teeth, remove your tongue from the roof of your mouth. Relax your jaw and your chin, throat, neck, the tops of your shoulders, collarbones, chest, heart. Relax your front ribs, side ribs, back ribs, your belly, belly button, hips, pelvis, thighs, knees, shins, ankles, tops of your feet, your big toes, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe, outside edge of your feet, soles of your feet, heels, Achilles, calves, backs of your knees, hamstrings, buttocks, lower back, middle back, shoulder blades, upper back. Relax your shoulders, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, the heel of your hands, thumbs, forefingers, ring finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of your hand and the back of your hand. Both hands, both feet, legs, arms, torso, head, relaxed. Every muscle, ligament, tendon, fascia, every organ, every bone, cell, and your skin. Completely relaxed. Mold it into your mat. Becoming weightless and free. And if your mind starts to fill with thoughts, then just count your breath in, count your breath out. Allow yourself to be simply resting, simply, naively, openly, completely resting. Making time for the dust to settle and the muddy waters to calm. Simply waiting for a stream of deep knowing to flood your already vibrant understanding. Even the moon renews itself. Even the ocean breathes. See this connection and let the morning curve of sunlight arching across the blue planet guide you out beyond any sorrows in your heart into the sunrise of your life and your love. vibrations and pulsations within your body. Now take your awareness into your hands and into your feet. And waken up your body, wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then relax. Relax your hands, relax your feet. Take your awareness into your tummy. Just draw in your belly button a little as you slide your heels one at a time onto your sit bones, knees to the ceiling. Just keep your eyes closed and allow your spine to adjust. When you're ready, take your knees into your chest, folding onto your shins or behind your knees. Give them a gentle squeeze as you rock your body side to side, just giving your back body a massage. And then come to center. Reach your right arm up and over your head, roll it over into your right side. Just rest here with your head on your upper arm, left hand on the floor in front of your heart. Your eyes closed. With your eyes closed, push the floor away, coming all the way up into a seated cross-legged position. A nice long, tall spine. Grounded the head to the ceiling. Bring your hands together and rotate quickly. Bring your warm hands and place them over your eyes. And now open your eyes behind your palms. Squeeze them shut open. Squeeze them shut open. Look up, look down, look to the right, to the left. Rotate clockwise, anti-clockwise. And then close them again as you bring your hands together in prayer in front of your heart. As you breathe in, lengthen your spine even more. And repeat the mantra silently to yourself. I love my heart. I love my body. I love my mind. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, bow your chin into your chest. Turn the corners of your mouth up to your eyes. Flutter your eyelids open.